Hello Blast Process viewers, and here we are at Play Expo London, and I've got Jim Bagley with me.
Hello.
Yes, the writer of an awful lot of games, an awful lot of classics, and bringing back the past into the future as well.
Yes.
So, we start with Spectrum next.
Spectrum next, yeah. It's we're hopefully having it out for September-ish. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We've managed to get the membrane at the right pressure now, because Rick wanted it so it was 40 grams of pressure to get the key to press.
Okay.
It needs to be nice and light for typing on it. When they did the first pass of doing the membrane for the Spectrum Next, it came out about 200 grams because they had 3 layers because of the way the extra keys were working. So he said, no, you can't do that. No, it needs to be less than 40 grams. So you're going to have to find a way of doing it with just the 2 layers. So he went away, did some tests and stuff and a bit of research, and they managed to do it, and it's now below 40 grams, so it'll be nice and light for when you're typing. And yeah, we've got a couple of games here at the show. We've got Baggers in Space.
Yeah, not just the shirt on your back.
Yeah, and Warhawk, which is a conversion of an old Commodore 64 game that Mike Wade did.
Yeah.
Who's
Well, that was a Firebird release, wasn't it? Was that Firebird? I was trying. I know the title.
Mike.
Yeah, getting over.
Mike. Was it Mike? Who released Warhawk? Was it Firebird?
That was released by Firebird.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey, I got that right then.
You got that right.
I'm amazing myself there.
Yeah, well done.
There's a few grey cells still function.
They still work, yeah. So yeah, Mike and me have been working together. We started like Rusty Pixels, and these are our first 2 games that are coming out for the Spectrum Next.
I saw them. There's boxes there. So are they being sold digitally or is physical releases?
It's going to be physical release on SD.
Yep, he's going to get it. Bear with us. Aha! We've got them. Why am I holding the microphone to boxes? I don't know.
Yeah, no. They're going to talk. Hey! Right, we've got Bags in Space and Warhawk, and we've got the usual seal of approval and the screenshots and some blurb about the game.
And the barcode.
At the moment, it's just a DVD case, but we're hoping to get a manufacturer that will have the proper SD slot for it. Yeah.
The claspy bit for the disc, the memory card, the SD slot.
Yeah, the SD slot.
We'll get there in the end.
So yeah, everyone's enjoying playing the game so far, which is always a good sign. Yeah, it was because with the Spectrum, everyone knows it was all about gameplay and playability, and that's what we've kept with the Next, hopefully. So.
As I was saying before to you, it's just a shock to see so much colour on the Spectrum without any spillage.
Yeah, well, originally with the Spectrum, you had the ULA and you had attribute clash and everything, but with the Spectrum Next, when it was announced by Enrique about 2 years ago now, in Blackpool, I thought, well, if you're calling it the Spectrum Next and it's enhanced with the Raspberry Pi as it was back then, we thought, well, it should be a next version. Now, it should have something that would make it how it would have been, something to the table. And what happens is, I get asked a lot of the time, how do you get? Now, I want to make a game for the Spectrum. How do you get a sprite on the screen? And because of the way the ULA is laid out, it's a bit awkward to rotate the bits in the values on the locations for where the screen is, just to get a sprite to scroll across the screen smoothly. So, like, rather than when the Next comes out, if it was just a clone of the original Spectrum, they'd get it and say, right, I want to make a game, and then he'd try, and it's a bit confusing because I was the guy here, I was explaining to him, because he does Java programming, and he wants to do some Spectrum programming, and I showed him the way the screen was laid out and poking it about in memory and basic statements, and it sort of blew his mind a bit, and thought, yeah, that's what I don't want to happen with the Spectrum Next. I want people to be able to write a game or do something for it when they get it without it being like mega complex.
More intuitive.
Yeah. So if we make it easy, add hardware sprites so you don't have to worry about rotating bits around. Add hardware scrolling so you don't have to again rotate bits around for the screen, and add a byte per pixel so it's easy to plot things on the screen. And with making it easier, people when they get it, they'll get that self-gratification quickly when they actually get something on the screen, or get a sprite moving across the screen in a couple of lines of basic instead of a hell of a lot of lines of like mind-bending algorithms to get the screen.
It's a strange thing to be in, because with modern machines there's that much interface between you and the hardware.
Yeah.
You want to cut to the chase,
yeah.
But at the same time, if you cut it all out, it's you and the hardware.
It's you and the hardware, and you have to know about memory and how the memory is, the layout of the memory and everything. So yeah, it's a bit difficult. So like I say, with making it easier for people to pick it up and have a play with, when you get the Spectrum Next, when it comes out, hopefully in September, then they won't just get it and try and make a game and then, oh, I can't do it, and throw it back in the drawer and forget about it, which is what we don't want to happen with the Next. We want people to make games, enjoy it, yeah. And hopefully they'll be able to.
You said September then?
Yes. That is the plan so far. That was the last I heard. So if everything goes to plan, it will be September.
Yes.
But
don't tempt fate.
I'm not going to say like a date in September, because it will be any point in September. But we are hoping for early parts of September.
Wonderful. Well, you're a famous name in Spectrum circles for the games you've done.
Yes.
Have you got a particular favourite of your own?
Well, Bags in Space, but the original
buy
games.
it here now.
Yeah. The original games that I did, like Midnight Resistance, Cabal, two of my favourites. I've got a lot of passion for Hudson Hawks. I really enjoyed that game because the movie was a flop.
And we had to.
Yeah. I only saw it about 5 or 6 years ago now, and I actually enjoyed it because I went knowing that it was a cheesy flop film, and knowing that it was actually enjoyable.
Yes. As a film, I thought we're going to film talking conversation. We're moving anyway.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like an awful lot of rackets. There's like statements inside statements inside statements.
Yeah.
I can't really explain it more than that. People not doing what you think they're doing, pretending they're doing something.
Yeah. I like the idea, the way they thought we'll have them whistle songs or sing songs, and then that is the time that they've got to do or get across a certain room or whatever in the building to avoid security and stuff. So I thought the idea was there,
yes,
but it's just poorly executed, I suppose. And with doing the game, we had an early script which was totally changed by the time I got to see the film. I was like, I don't remember that in the script. And I was like, where's this bit? But yeah,
that's all these songs come from.
I know, yeah. And so yeah, it's with having a bad film, we put as much fun as we could into the game to make up for it. And a couple of people a few people have said they liked Hudson Hawk quite.
I remember the time. It was a good experience. It was a good game.
Yeah.
Make a good game, everybody's happy.
Exactly. That's what we did with Hudson Hawk, which is why it's again one of the ones I like. And I liked Roadrunner, another one of mine, because it was the first game that I got to #1 with. So I was made up with that.
I love the arcade machine because it was a cartoon in a box.
Yeah. And I still love playing the arcade game. Now I have a challenge at these events with a couple of friends. We have see who can get the highest score on Roadrunner. It's good.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
And obviously, good luck with Spectrum Next.
Thank you very much.
I missed that particular crowdfunder, but I will be buying one when it becomes available, which is going to be after the Kickstarter
after
people.
The Kickstarter have got theirs. What we're going to try and do is, because to keep the price down for the people who are going to be buying it after the Kickstarter event, we need to sell them in blocks of 200 to keep the bits down. No, the price for the bits, because otherwise, if you're buying one at a time, the price goes through the roof.
Yeah.
And so we need a reseller that will buy them in 200 chunks, and then obviously sell them on. They'll make their own profit on it, but we need to get to a point where we're happy with the price being low enough so it's not extortionate for people buying them after the Kickstarter, but enough for them to, the reseller, to make a profit off it as well. So
make it viable.
Yeah, because otherwise there's no point in them.
Right. So anyway, have you got a website for this, Spectrum Next?
Yeah, specnext.com.
Like, say that again, make sure.
Specnext.com, SPECNEXT.com.
Wonderful. We'll put it in the description as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
And it's been some great games off you.
Thank you.
It really is.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this is Jim Bagley. I'm Neil. This is Blast Process, and this is Play Expo London.
Yep. Bye.